Unions are corny. This has long been my position, and it's really remarkable how this sort of ahistorical, nonsensical approach that a lot of people have with unions, where they look at it as a net positive. They look at it as if, well, if it didn't exist, there would be workers' abuse, and it's just pro workers, all for the workers, in solidarity is a falsehood. It's just never been the case. It's a mafia-esque kind of organization, if you will, because in a lot of cases, depending on your industry, you're almost forced, or let's say coerced, maybe extorted to enter into this, to be in that industry, to enter into this union. And on the other hand, it's very communistic in the sake that, and that's what we're going to be discussing here, the individual is the last person that is considered. And the fact that there are people that actually advocate this, it's hard for me to feel bad for them when the union backfires, and being a part of that union sort of backfires, I guess, unless they're extorted, which, again, take that in whatever way that you may. Today's story we're going to be covering, this is reported by Variety. And I'm not even going to read the headline. Let's read what it says, and it just makes my point. Writers Guild of America responded on Tuesday to the latest proposal from the studios as the sides continue to resolve the 3-month-old writer strike. While the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers has made some concessions, including agreeing to provide streaming viewership data, the studio group has not agreed to a key WGA demand for a minimum staff size. So the union, or the Writers Guild of America, is saying that they need a minimum staff size requirement for the writers' room. The AMPTP at first refused to even consider the idea, but in the latest proposal, it offered to give showrunners flexibility to hire a certain number of writers depending on the budget of the show, which goes to show this is all this is a match made in hell, because one side's trying to consider the economics and the other side doesn't even care about it, which is why a lot of these guys will not go out on their own and be a part of the solution to the problems it is that they're griping about. That applies to both writers as well as the actors and actresses. The WGA, meanwhile, has continued to make it clear that it wants a fixed minimum staff size for all shows. The two sides remain at odds on a host of other issues as well, but the TV staff size proposal is shaping up to be a key hurdle to getting an agreement. The WGA places a premium on solidarity, but this is the important part. But within the guild, there's been some private dissent over the proposal, with some showrunners telling Variety that they think it is the wrong fight and should not be the reason the strike is prolonged. The guild includes 11,500 members, and in a group so large, it's natural that not everyone is going to see eye to eye on every issue, but Variety spoke with 7 writers with varying levels of experience, including several current and former showrunners, who were willing to explain their opposition to the condition, or on the condition, in anonymity. So basically, they are against this, and they, like, this sets it up perfectly. You couldn't have teed this up better. What's happening right here is that the union is negotiating on their behalf, which is what unions do, right? And you crack smokers think that this is a preferable situation. That the unions speak on your behalf, they negotiate on your behalf, and no matter if you think it's a bad idea, no matter how stupid you think it is, well, because you're a part of it and this is the deal that you're in, this is what has to happen. Because they know better, right? The fund, you're paying them, remember? Well, you kind of being extorted to pay for it, but you're paying for them out of your fees. You're paying these union fees out of your paychecks, and they're negotiating on your behalf. What? See, no matter what it is, I just can't imagine being like either negotiating it myself, but me having the ultimate say, right? I'm not talking about in terms of representation, like lawyers, maybe even an agent. I'm speaking more to, like, you have a group idea, let's say that, and they're the ones negotiating on your behalf, and it's impacting your paychecks. To me, that's insane. The fact that there are people that would willingly join into that is nuts to me. But this is the problem with it right here, in that you guys, there are people, for example, that are part of these guilds or part of these unions, and they want to work, for example. And right now you're striking. So you can't make money. And now imagine being in that situation. You can't make money. You want to go make money. You have no problem going to work, but you can't make money because the union has decided collectively that all of y'all must strike. And then on top of that, they're negotiating this deal because that's the reason that they're saying they're striking. They're negotiating the deal, and then it's having terms that you vehemently disagree with. Vehemently just say this is no, you don't want it. See, there's only one actual solution to this stuff. And it doesn't matter what the industry is. But particularly in this one, where you have some of the top guys have a lot of money in these unions. If you want, let's say, to negotiate, no, let me take a step back. Be a part of the solution by actually forking over the cost, which is really what's happening here. I've made this point before. Well, what they want, studios suck, but what they want is for the studios to be the ones forking over the money, regardless if they hand it over regardless if they're losing or not. So if they have a project that happens, they want to get paid, they want to guarantee sort of compensation. That's why it's so attractive to have these mega producers and mega corporations to still exist, no matter how much they dislike them, because they know it's the only institution that can pay them like that, despite losing millions upon millions of dollars in any given time. It's like they want them to assume the risk. They can afford to assume the risk, and they want to benefit from it. See, it's a lot of risk that comes with doing it by yourself. You can correct the problems, though, if you actually have issues with them. But see, they're too chicken shit to do that. If you like this video and want to get into a new comic book universe, visit Rippaverse.com. Our first campaign for iSum 1 hit $3.7 million, and the pre-order campaign for iSum 2 is currently live. So go check it out and watch the official launch trailer, which is the first animation of Rippaverse Studios.